Welcome back to WD Magicast for the week of July 9th, 2023. This is episode 228. WD Magicast, the show about the mouse, the Marvels, the galaxy, and beyond. I'm your host, Matthew Gracon. In this week's episode, Dave Gallman and I sit down and talk about food and wine and some of the latest news of Walt Disney World in part one of our two-part special regarding food and wine. Join us on social media at WD Magicast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and Threads as well. We're there over there. And also YouTube. You can find us on there as well. If you have any questions or suggestions that you want to be heard or hear done to the show, email us at email@wdmagicast.com. And don't forget to check out our TeePublic store where you can get some really cool stuff. And some of it's on sale too. We'll be back after these words from our friends and sponsors.
Hey Matthew, Jim Hill here. I do the Marvelous Disney podcast with Aaron Adams over at the Jim Hill Media Podcast Network. I know, very humble sounding name. Anyway, I really enjoy what you've been doing over on the Disney Marvels podcast, but as you probably already noticed, the Marvel Us Disney and the Disney Marvels podcast names are very, very similar, which is why I imagine I keep getting mail for you. That's actually why I'm calling today. I wanted to know what you'd like me to do with all of these Yankee Candle catalogs, so please get back to me. Keep up the great work with the Disney Marvels podcast.
Thank you for those kind words, Jim. And make sure to check out Jim Hill on the Marvel Us Disney podcast with Aaron Adams to find out all sorts of wonderful things about Disney, well, Marvel, particularly what's going on with them. And Jim, those catalogs, I'll make sure to give you the forwarding address. And unless if you want to order something, go right ahead. And once again, make sure to check out Marvel Us Disney with Jim Hill and Aaron Adams, wherever you find or listen to your podcasts. We're back again, and for a lack of news, we have plenty of news to go over. And part of the reason why we were absent is because it took me this long to come up with an introduction. And I'm sorry, this is the best I could come up with in 2 weeks. But we are here, and we have Dave joining us to break down some of the more recent updates of things going on in Walt Disney World. None the least, because one of our favorite topics is food and food and wine. The menu and some news and some updates have been released about food and wine, and we will be breaking into food and wine to break into food and wine. Hopefully we don't get kicked out this time. Dave, thank you for joining us again.
Matthew, thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. It's like a giant shimmering tiara on top of a water tower every time you come here. Speaking of which, you see there's a giant shimmering water tower, tiara on top of a water tower by the attraction formerly known as Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain, yes. Yep, that was one of the things I was scrolling through with the news. I seen that they have a shiny new, part of it, and they're making sure they're giving you updates of it, man. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very proud. Oh, we got this water tower feature here. Doesn't do anything, but it's got a shiny tiara on it.
Yeah.
I remember the water tower. I couldn't remember the fact that it had a giant tiara on top of it. Mm-hmm. So they dropped that announcement, but at this relatively the same time, they dropped that Tiana's meet and greet character will be changing out of her ball gown into her they're calling it her adventure outfit, I believe. From my understanding, it's very strange that none of this has been mentioned or reiterated since the initial announcement of this attraction was that this outfit is actually going to be part or what she's going to be wearing in the shorts or the series of shorts that are coming out on Disney Plus, and she's going to be wearing that outfit. And then there's your connectivity of the outfits, where it came from, why she's wearing it, and then the attraction and this whole thing, because it's gonna this whole food sharing storyline that the attraction is based around is going to be introduced in these shorts, but we haven't heard anything about the shorts in some time, so I don't know what's going on with those or when those are actually supposed to be coming out.
So they're specifically creating shorts to come up with a theme for the new attraction. Is that what you're saying? Instead of just going by like the movie and theming it around that, they're changing the theme by making a series so that people know why they're theming it that way.
Well,
sort of,
maybe, kind of, sort of. So there's
okay.
a picture of her on a steamship running, but in there she's wearing a skirt. Yeah, that's it that we have for pictures. It's Akina Noni Rose is reprising her part, voicing Tiana
in the shorts.
Yes,
yeah.
But
it doesn't really look like, just judging from the pictures that I'm seeing over there, it doesn't really look like they've done much except for put all the scaffolding around the ride and everything.
They've been doing a lot of internal work.
Well,
because also keep in mind they have to strip all of this stuff out. So there's a lot of stuff they have to strip out, particularly the inside. I'm trying to see if there's any updates or news.
Yeah, there's still
nothing other than this is from a Pop Surge from a month ago that Bruce Willis was videoed by his wife Emma. Bruce Willis rides Splash Mountain with his daughter in video shared by his wife. That's heartbreaking. Poor guy. Anyway, I couldn't find out any more like real release date other than it's still coming. They may try and hold that. This is my guess. So Splash Mountain is supposed to open next year.
Yeah, they're still pushing for late 2024.
Yeah. So they will probably release those. I think they were initially intended for this year, but to me it would make more sense to hold that for next year.
Yeah, the closer you get out, maybe like a month before they plan on opening or something. So it's
month or two, yeah, even like 2 or 3 months beforehand.
Yeah.
Drop the shorts so that way, here's the shorts, and all of a sudden Princess and the Frog and Tiana is on the forefront of everyone's mind. And boom, it's like, okay, oh wait, here's the attraction. It's just that synergy that and like almost free advertising. So it just kind of it will bring everyone, peak everybody just at the right point that, hey, let's get down there.
Yeah.
Where if you do that now, I don't think it would have the same carryover. Yeah,
because people are gonna. It won't be fresh in the mind. Whatever the shorts are won't be fresh in the mind. People are going to forget about it. And then, the ride's opening, So then you're going to find yourself binging the shorts to catch up on what you might be expecting down there. So that's the catch-22 of releasing it now as opposed to closer.
Right. And can you still find them? And does anyone care? We watch them,
Right.
So Yeah. So that would be my speculation. I mean, that's just complete speculation and guessing. Anything's possible. They can come up with, they can release it now and hope that carries through. I would think the smarter bet is release it sometime next year, several months ahead of the opening, to drive people to want to go there, because you don't really have anything else in the works that we know of. Now there is the D23. It's not the expo, it's the convention that gets thrown around. So it's going to be at Walt Disney World in the Contemporary. But supposedly there isn't really going to be much in the way of new attractions being, or at least that's the speculation, that there isn't going to be much in the way of new attraction talk, which is kind of scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because by now, wouldn't we have learned something about anything coming there? You know what I mean? All we're hearing is things being refurbished into other things, but
right. I think, okay, we had Tron, so good. We have Tron. You have Moana, the Way of Water, which they keep on pushing as a show attraction type of thing, but it's a small walk through.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
It's not like, it's not a major attraction.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a Tron. It's not a Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not those. So It's like, what do you got for us?
Well, and that's the problem when you run out of space to build stuff. You know what I mean?
But they don't. They're not out of space. That's the thing. Everyone's, oh, look, they're crowded. They're out of space. They're not. There is so much more room. Especially if you consider the Blue Sky project that Josh D'Amaro talked about at the last D23 regarding the Magic Kingdom and pushing past Haunted Mansion. There's a nice decent chunk of land back there. Not a huge amount, but a decent chunk of land that they're talking about developing. You still haven't even opened Tom Sawyer Island back up yet. So what's going on with that? What's going on with this Blue Sky concept of basically a whole new land or lands off of around the rivers of America there. Epcot, there's actually still several expansion pads available. Supposedly there's some construction work going on behind Morocco. So what does that mean? We don't know.
Yeah.
You got studios. You just put a lot of love into the studios. It's not gonna get touched for a while now.
Yeah.
You burnt one of the two expansion pads for Toy Story Land with building the restaurant there, Woody's Roundup restaurant, which is very much needed. So that no complaints about that. That was much needed there. Mm-hmm. So that actually works out to be a good thing. Animal Kingdom needs a lot of love.
Yeah, because what's the last big thing they had there? The Pandora ride?
Pandora was the last really true big thing that they had going on, went into there, which was the redo of Camp Minnie Mickey. Now the rumor is, okay, what's going on in Dinoland? Are they redoing all of Dinoland? Are they just redoing the part of Chester Hester? Are they redoing the Rafiki's Planet Watch area, which was the behind the scene actual doctor stuff, and that's where they had their vet set up. So that would be they have to relocate their vet situation, because that was the live vet area. Mm-hmm. Plus you had the little affection section where you got to go with the goats and small creatures and pet them and hang out with the animals. So to talk about putting Zootopia in around that area, which semi makes sense.
I could see that.
It wasn't heavily characterized, that park, for kind of a reason. Like, not that it wasn't to the extent of Epcot whenever it opened, where Epcot did not have any characters. There was characters in Animal Kingdom, but the animals were the focus, and the characters were worked into it. It wasn't the characters weren't the main focus, and then the animals were worked into it.
Right.
With Joe Rohde now not involved in WDI, he doesn't have a say in protecting that park anymore. So now all of a sudden it's like, oh, let's bring in all this IP and retheme, and so I don't know how that will play out, and if that's a good thing. I mean, okay, you have Pandora, but if you look at Pandora and you look at the rest of the Animal Kingdom, it's organic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you walk past, you're walking the rest of the park, and then you walk down the path to the Pandora section, and it doesn't feel like it shouldn't be there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you walk the other side of the park and into this big, bright, potentially bright, colorful, cartoony, but animated area,
Mm-hmm.
without actually seeing it, and I put a lot of faith in the Imagineers. They do a hard work. They come up with some amazing things at times, but it just, I'm almost envisioning Toy Story Land.
Okay.
What Toy Story Land is themed like and kind of looks like, the whimsy and the colors.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me that's almost like Zootopia.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
And you put that in Dinoland.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. It's that, yeah.
I don't think that fits that park.
Yeah. But
Not saying that Zootopia wouldn't. I can't see it being organic enough.
Well, how about, I mean, there's no, well, I don't know if that would be a draw, but Lion King, like if they did a Lion King theme thing, like,
Well, but you do have that, because you have the Lion King show over in Africa.
Oh yeah, duh. It's been a while since I've been there. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say it's only been 2 years, but
yeah, I'm also old, so I forget stuff real quick.
You only got a few years on me.
Yeah. So what you're saying basically is that Animal Kingdom is the hardest one to try to add to make it, to get people to go there. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah, in some ways it is, and I think that's what the trouble that they were having. And they came up with the whole Chester and Hester amusement carnival park thing, which semi worked. To me, it I didn't think it was the best thing, but that was me. Because that giant area there is a whole large expansion pad that they could even put a whole indoor attraction to, which Animal Kingdom could use more indoor attractions.
Mm-hmm.
But it's to come up with something. I mean, like I said, Avatar worked because of it, just the nature of it.
Mm-hmm.
But to think of another IP outside of Zootopia, but just any IP that would really work well there. And I don't want to retheme Dinosaur. I love Dinosaur as it is.
Mm-hmm.
And people say, oh, you need to retheme it. It's too scary. It's too this. No, I think it's a good attraction because it goes to a bunch of different interests. But what would Jungle Book would be perfect, but it's too old. And in fact, you actually had the show where now it's Nemo and friends are finding it's the Nemo show musical. That used to be originally it was the Jungle Book show. It was a Jungle Book live action show that took place there, which I thought was a lot of fun, and I really liked how they did it. Then they replaced that with Tarzan, which again would fit naturally with there.
Yeah.
And then they closed Tarzan Rocks, and then I replaced it with Nemo, which I guess works. People really like it. They like the Nemo stuff, which is fine. I think because initially they wanted that stuff to be dinosaur because they were expecting the dinosaur movie to hit, and it didn't.
It didn't. No.
Because to the point is originally Dinosaurs was called Countdown to Extinction, which is why the rovers, the vehicles that you go on, have the word CTX on it, Countdown to Extinction. The name of the attraction. They knew they were going to rename it when the movie dropped, but before the movie dropped, and to not let anything out, that's why you had the change in name. You even had the Aladar figure, AA figure in the water as you're going on the riverboats. He stopped working because animatronics aren't supposed to be submerged in water for long periods of time. He had a statue in front of Countdown to Extinction also, which has been removed, strangely enough. So it's like, what all is going on there? So it's, but why does it have to be so focused on that? But he's also the dinosaur that you rescue. So, but yeah, I'm trying to think what else. And I don't think Encanto would be appropriate.
In Animal Kingdom? Yeah, no.
You want something that's animal based and environmental based. But of anything that's recent, and that's the problem. It's like, what has been recent? What they should do, and not that this has been a big financial hit for them, but at the same time, synergistically, it works. Oh, you know what? You have two different ends there. You have two different ways. Now I'm thinking about it. What I was actually thinking about, they should do something with their Disney nature films. Work that in somehow. But there's not going to be as huge of a draw. The films are all absolutely fantastic, beautifully shot and narrated wonderfully. The storylines that they come up with them work. So I think that would be great, but I can understand why you wouldn't do that. The kinship to that is, okay, you don't do Disney nature, but Disney now owns, to whatever extent, National Geographic. Where else would be absolutely appropriate to drop National Geographics into your parks? Which has a following in its own right, and stuff. Question is, what do you do with that?
Yeah.
So,
well, that would be more of, I would assume, if they had like a Nat Geo section, that would be more of a learning thing. You know what I mean?
A little more than learning. Actually, no. Hold on. Brain's thinking here. A large, huge dark ride.
Okay.
That you are on a trek to go somewhere. So you're you are on one of the National Geographic exploration teams,
Mm-hmm.
and either you're going into the Arctic or you're going under the sea or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like, okay, there's a storyline, and then it kind of almost like, I don't want to say an Indiana Jones type of adventure, but something along that lines. It's like, say you're going to the Arctic, and you got the polar bears coming at you. Okay, you have to get around the polar bears, and the harsh winds blowing, and the snow, and the ice is cracking under you, and you could do something with that. And the National Geographic explorers going to explore and taking picture. We have to go to this point to get this picture or story about this ancient whatever MacGuffin. And you could go, you're in the vehicle with the explorers, and if you want to make it interactive, you are the photographers, and you are taking pictures of the stuff that you see. And merchandising idea, at the end you can purchase the pictures that you took on the attraction.
That's it, man. I'm gonna get you a job at the Imagineers, man.
Or, as I was just saying, also turn that area into an Indiana Jones adventure. I mean, dinosaurs based on, and if my understanding is the same track layout of the Indiana Jones attraction at Disneyland, because it's the same vehicle, uses the same technology. Like I said, I was told that the tracks were similar. I'm not positive on that. So
that would actually be pretty cool, an Indiana Jones type section or whatever.
Bring Indy back, over here, or change it up, make it a similar attraction, different story. So it's not an exact clone.
Right.
And turn it into an Indiana Jones area. Because why not? And again, that would somewhat fit. Okay, it doesn't necessarily fit with the conservation as much as like the National Geographics would, but it's you still get that. But how much conservation is in Zootopia? There's some, but it's a weak story point. It's not, So, anyway, I get off the soapbox there. Speaking of merchandising, you had some new merchandising ideas, merchandising opportunities that you found yourself.
Yes, if you're interested in, apparently they dropped Mandalorian Grogu light up ear headbands at Walt Disney World for $22. So if you find yourself there, go find yourself a pair of those, and they look pretty cool.
I would.
Yeah, I mean, so would I.
Grogu, why not? It lights up.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm assuming the ear, like the inner parts of the ear, light up somehow, some kind of small LED light or something in there. But that's cool, as opposed to like all the Mickey ears you see all over the place. So the Grogu ears are pretty sharp.
In all fairness, they've really been expanding beyond just the Mickey. I'm sure this is a headband, right?
Yep.
They've got to be. Even years ago, I bought a Goofy one, so it's the Goofy ears with a Goofy head. So I have that. So this is something that they've been doing. I mean, usually it's the traditional mouse ears, Mickey or Minnie, and they theme the ears to whatever. But this is Grogu shaped ears, which they've been doing that stuff too. But yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I have the Mickey ears, but it's Death Star themed. You know what I mean? The thing looks like the Death Star with the black ears on top. It's cool.
Yes. And then There's these new Christmas ornaments, the sketchbook line, they're expanding on that.
Yeah, you can get yourself some cool
Christmas in July.
Finding Nemo, Chip and Dale. It looks like some cool Mickey and Minnie stuff out there. So if you're looking to spruce up your Christmas tree,
always.
They got some really cool items. I have done that myself. Every time I go there, we hit up the Christmas section and buy a couple new ones. So
Same.
I like the ones with the music in them, or some kind of, they talk or whatever, some kind of articulation and stuff. They're cool. So I'm glad to see they're still expanding on that stuff. Which
I always love how I find it strangely appropriate having the Darth Vader ornament hanging on a Christmas tree. And you press the button and it says, "I find your lack of faith disturbing."
Yep.
Strangely appropriate for her.
Yeah. But no, these are, and we've been in that store. It's huge. There's ornaments everywhere.
One of my favorite stores.
Yeah, if you've never been in one in that, you got to go in there. It's you're and bring a lot of money because you're gonna spend. You can't just get one.
No, it's like a potato chip, and you can't just have one.
Nope. No. So that's good. So I'll be there in August, and I might have to pick up one of these new ones.
Absolutely. I saw that for the 25th anniversary of the Disney Cruise Line, they have a model of a Disney Cruise Line ship. It's silver for the silver anniversary and like turquoise base. Looks really, really nice. Me and my ship models. I love my ship models. I would love to get my hand on one of these, but I don't think I am because I couldn't quite tell. The person said, "Oh, I must get these," and didn't say where they were.
Well, I saw something in the news about there was they were releasing merchandising for the cruise lines, but it didn't look like it was for any particular ship. It just looked like
it
generalized.
Was just a generic.
Yeah. Is that and then I saw like an ornament. Was that the one you were talking about?
No. This is like the models I have.
Yeah. Yes.
Almost like that. It's like a bigger base.
Okay.
See if I can quickly pull this up. But yeah, the details pretty nicely done. But again, the entire ship is silver. It's not painted to look like one of the cruise ships. So it's still very nice looking. Someone just saw it, so it may not be too many pictures. Oh, here we go.
Oh, wow.
It looks in this, like, by the size of this picture, it looks like it's actually kind of sizable. It's not tiny.
That's definitely not a Christmas ornament.
No.
That's more of like a big knick-knack, man. You're putting that on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I love my ship models. So I would love to get one of these babies. Someone's selling one on eBay already. How much? That's not coming up. Why is it not coming up? Anyway.
Over under $250.
Yeah. Which one are you taking? Over or under the 250?
I'll take over.
Nope. 150 for this one.
150. No.
Versus the Disney Cruise Line 25th anniversary floating Bluetooth speaker. $573 on eBay.
It's a deal.
It's a cartoony version of a cruise ship. That looks like it fits in a mouse ear base. Yes, here we go. Lights up.
Yeah.
Bluetooth speaker. Pump out your favorite tunes.
Put a bid in for me. If you win, I'll give you the money later.
Have some Little Nas blasting out of the cruise ship. Sorry, going off track.
That's okay.
So yeah, But that looks pretty neat. So I'm guessing those are probably about, if they're selling it for $150, probably about $100, $90,
Yeah.
probably retail. Guessing.
Mhm.
Not, I don't have the exact amount. If someone has the exact amount, please let us know.
Yeah. And then the other merchandise, I guess they're sneak peeking the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas merchandise
Yep.
that you can get. It looks just like sweaters. I don't know if that's a ring, coffee mug, shirts, blah blah blah. So purchase that and buy your tickets to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas, and you can go all festive.
It doesn't look like there was anything specific. Like like last year, there was nothing. It was all generic. There was nothing that said the year.
Right. Well, the shirt says 2023 on it.
Oh, they did. Okay, because last year they had nothing with the year on it.
Yeah, you can clearly on the picture it says Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party 2023 on it. The mug I can't tell because it's not a great picture and there's a shine on it, but yeah, both shirts. It looks like the long sleeve has it. I don't know if that's a hoodie or just a long sleeve shirt, and the smaller shirt has it on it too. So I don't know what those are going for, but I'm sure they're not giving it away either.
Oh no. Ooh, never do on these things. Yeah, a couple of shirts. Okay, yeah, the sweat. Oh, okay, it's a Spirit jersey.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, it's a Spirit jersey. There's a T-shirt and a mug and a pin. Pin just says Happy Holiday Magic.
Holiday Magic, yeah.
The Spirit jersey looks nice.
I wonder if that's a part of the that pin is a part of the that pin trading stuff they got going on down there. So that it like I wonder if they're very rare, and that's going to be like a hot commodity to get for your pin collections.
It will be rare to the extent of you will only be able to get it in the Magic Kingdom. Sometimes they limit it to it's only available during the party. In other times, it's available just all the time at the Magic Kingdom. So that's depends how they're going to handle that. But it will be limited to just then typically. So it's not going to be limited to like you have to hunt it down and find it and beat someone over the head for it and you know hand over super rare pin.
Well, with something like that, if you go to purchase one, do they have a limit on them? You know what I mean? Like one per customer, blah blah blah, or if it's only going to be a limited time thing, because you don't want somebody swooping in, buying them all up, and then selling them on eBay for $250 each.
Yeah, they're still working on trying to stop that.
Yeah.
They're still working on trying to stop that. But I would love to say yes. I don't think there will be.
Yeah.
Plus, this is the stuff that's specific to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. There's still going to be a slew of other holiday pins that come out and are available throughout the rest of the property and the company during that same time.
Right.
Because there's always more than just that one holiday pin. There's usually a whole bunch of ones. That's the one specific to the Very Merry Christmas Party. So, yeah. I mean, you've been there during the holiday times. Disney gets into the Christmas spirit.
Oh, big time. They
The
do it
holiday
well.
spirit. I apologize.
Yes, the holiday spirit. They do it well. I'm trying to see what else. I think that's it on the merchandising end that unless you what do you call it? What was that thing we were talking about? The food section. Well, I mean, it's not part of Epcot, right? I don't think so. The blue ribbon corn dogs.
Oh, the blue ribbon corn dogs coming to the boardwalk.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's its own little thing. Yeah, it's just I didn't look as much into that.
I mean, I saw a picture. I mean, I don't know if they still have it on the menu, but it was like a really big mozzarella stick.
That's kind of, yeah, that's a good description for it.
And it was deep fried in it almost looked like Rice Krispies and what breadcrumbs and stuff, and it looked incredible. I don't know if that's still on the menu, but if it's there when I go down there, I'm hitting one of those up. But apparently, I guess it's it's a popular thing, that they're moving there. So
yeah, a lot of stuff shifting and moving in the boardwalk area now because they closed the ESPN zones and they're putting in that cake place, the bakery. So they're shifting a bunch of things around over there. Oh yes.
Yeah, so you can get a classic dog, you can get a pickle dog, a golden dragon, and a kid dog.
Oh, here it is.
And hopefully a mozzarella stick.
So this is the same place. This place was available in Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
And they're bringing it over here. It's going to be a kiosk too. It's not going to be one of the restaurants. It's one of the kiosks along the boardwalk.
Right. Kind of like like an ice cream stand or something like that, right? It's going to be its own little separate thing. Somebody's going to...
I was thinking churros, but yes.
Yeah. When I was thinking kiosk, I'm thinking like just like a soda vending machine. You go up, I want and then it just pops down. I don't think it would be as good as coming out of one of those, but
yeah, no. It's not like one of those things at Sam's Club where you put your card, tap your card to it, and you get a free thing of Downy.
Right.
Yeah, it's not one of those. It's like you go where you get your churros or your oh so delicious cheeseburger spring roll,
Right.
Something more along the line, like the popcorn.
Yeah, and they're not that it's $9.50 up to $14.50, so they're not incredibly overpriced or anything like that. So if you need a quick snack, this might do the trick.
Yeah, I think it's over expensive, and they like you said, they look really good. And if they're bringing it over, it must be it's got to be popular enough.
That,
why not?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's a corn dog, so corn dogs are fun.
Mm-hmm.
So beyond that, now let's walk down the boardwalk to Epcot, shall we?
Yeah, why not?
Because you got some stuff going on at Epcot. You have construction is still continuing along, and the world creation. I still can't get all these worlds right, but you have the Journey of Water. They have the giant Tafiti, which if you take the monorail, you could see a very good close up of it. They've had people kind of doing some test walkthroughs as they're still trying to adjust the water sprays and whatnot, get that whole worked out.
Well, speaking of the monorail, have they, because it's been a while, it's been a year or two since I've been to Epcot, have they done, remember how like certain sections of it they're not fixed, they were repairing them or they were working on them? Did they fix all that stuff yet, or is it still not going in a full circle?
I haven't heard. I think it's fully going.
It's still okay.
So I haven't heard otherwise.
Okay.
I mean, as far as transportation, the only one thing that I know absolutely that the friendship boats weren't running between Port Orleans and Disney Springs because of the low water levels. They've had enough water now from rain and stuff that the water levels are back to where they need to be, and they're running the friendship boats again, or the water taxis to not the friendship boats. Though speaking of friendship boats, they have rethemed the friendship. Friendship boats have gotten a new paint job, coming back to the World Showcase Lagoon at Epcot. Those are coming back, as well as they're dropping a whole bunch of pillars in the middle of World Showcase Lagoon, where the giant Stargate,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term, used to be.
Mhm.
That's gone, but they're dropping these pillars there now for whatever this new show that's coming out will be coming. And they're still saying this year, which we're past the halfway mark. So, but progress is being made that something is going into the middle of the lagoon that's going to be part of this new nighttime spectacular at Epcot. In the meantime, we're getting Epcot. Epcot Forever is back again, and showing nightly.
So, all right. So here's my quiz. Because I did a little research on this before we got on there.
Yeah.
And I looked at Epcot Forever up on YouTube, and I watched it, and I was like, it's just a regular show. It's just music in the background, fireworks going up.
Well, we saw it when we were there 2 years ago.
Well, when did I see Harmonious? Did I see that without you? Because I loved I thought Harmonious was great.
I loved Harmonious too. I enjoyed Harmonious. I didn't see it with the fireworks because of the hurricane. So the winds were still still strong enough at that point. They couldn't shoot out the fireworks. But the brilliant thing of Harmonious was there was a B mode that, we're showing it. You still could get the music, the visual effects off the giant tacos and the Stargate, the water spray, and the lasers.
Right.
So the only thing I was missing was the fireworks, and it was still wonderful. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I'm sure I am a Harmonious apologist, but I mean, yes, I get it. During the day, those giant things sitting in the lagoon was not the greatest visual sight lines and what they you'd probably want to see. But the show was enjoyable. I really liked it. And the music, I still love the music.
And that might be why I don't remember seeing Epcot Forever, because Harmonious just rang to me, and I'm like, because it was like I said, it brought you into it. It was spectacular. And when it was over, it was still lit up and the music was still going. And I'm like, is the show over? Is that it? We didn't know if we should walk away or nothing.
Yeah.
But I don't get what the blowback was on that and why they felt they needed to change it again.
The visuals, just having these giant things. The other problem with the Harmonious though was that for the giant Stargate, for the lack of a better name, you could only see it from see what's being projected and shown there from 2 points in the park.
Okay.
You either had to be in the Americas or Japan, where you have the one head on view, or at the gateway between the two shops to be you have to have a head on view, because if you were, say, in Canada or in Germany and you had a side view, the stuff that they were showing in the center, you did not have a good sight line to it.
Right.
So you need something more that's going to be a theater in the round, so people from all around could see it. So that's
yeah.
So you had the tacos that you could had the images, and you could see that from everywhere because it was double sided and there was 4 of them. So you wherever you were, you catch that.
Mm-hmm.
But the center part, not as much. Now the laser lights and the stuff that went overhead, yeah, you could, but you'd still be missing out on some of the stuff. So I think that was part of the problem. The biggest pushback was, during the day you had these giant intrusive things hanging out there. So, and I think, as much as they spent on creating that, and I'm kind of surprised that they didn't strip it down and just kind of repurpose things, but whatever. I don't know what's going to be coming next and what their intent is, but they're sinking pillars, so something permanent's going to be in the center of the lagoon. Now, maybe it's going to be shrunken down to that's just going to be there. For Illuminations, Reflection of Earth, you had that globe that they pulled out every day and docked it in the middle of the lagoon, and then when the show's over, they brought it back and kept it off to the side, so it was not a permanent structure. I'm surprised they didn't kind of go back to that idea.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Why did they go from Illuminations? Why did they switch that one to Epcot Forever? Did it run its course? And they said, all right, we're going to do something new?
The current version of Illuminations that ended 4 years ago. Was it the trip with you, or was it the trip? No, it was the trip before you.
It had to be before us.
Yeah, it was the trip before you. So that was 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah.
The show's final performance.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week. Make sure to join us next week for part 2 of our discussion of food and wine and everything else going around at Disney World at this time. Make sure to join the conversation and follow us on social networks where we can be found on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at WD MagicCast. Also, feel free to email us any suggestions or voice messages that you may have that you want to hear on the show or questions to email at WD MagicCast as well. You can find links to all these and follow along on the website WDMagicCast.com. Thank you for your time. I know how little time we all have these days and how crazy life has been. Thank you so much. We all appreciate it. Please, if you have a moment, go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us a rating or a review. We have all 5-star reviews at the moment. Keep them coming. We always can use more. The more we get, the more they will promote the show. Or also just share out a link on the social networks. Let people know about WD MagicCast and help grow the show that way too. The more people in this family, the better. Walt believed in a big Disney family, and so do I. Don't forget to subscribe to the show while you're at it. This way you always know when new episodes are posted. And consider becoming a premium subscriber. Really help the show out. You can do this over at anchor.fm/WDMagicCast/support. Or like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, check out our store as well on TeePublic. Great sales going on. Great merchandise. Shirts, mugs, travel mugs. Whole bunch of stuff. Make sure to check it out. Trust me, there'll probably be something there that you'd like. And you help the show out that way, and you get something cool too. Whatever you're facing out there, whatever troubles may be bothering you, don't give up. Never give up, never give in. Be your own hero. You are spectacular, you are beautiful. There's no one else like you, and that is for a good reason, because no one else can be you. There's only one you. That's what makes you special. That's part of what makes you special. And you mean more to someone else than you probably realize. But if you need help, do not be afraid to ask for help. Now I'd like to end this week's show with a quote from Walt Disney himself. If I were a fatalist or a mystic, which I decidedly am not, I might be appropriate to say I believe my lucky stars, but I reject luck. I feel every person creates or determinizes by discovering his best aptitudes and following them undigitally. Again, that's Walt Disney. That was a tongue twister one. Thank you again for listening, everyone, and I'll see you next time.